It's been a while since Tottenham has been title contenders in the Premier League, being second place to Leicester City, and that was about 8 years ago. Today, I'll be taking over the club with the goal to win not only the Premier League, but the Champions League as well. This first season, we will not be making any signings, as a lot of players have coming to the club, with I believe their biggest transfer ever being Dominic Solanke. So as you guys can see, I brought in the players that were just brought in, such as Solanke, and then if we go down, we have, where is he, Gray. Jess Spence has come back, I believe, and then we have Audebert, the French talent, I think out of Burnley, so he's extremely young. But the reason why Lucas Bergvall is not here is, for some reason, if I search his name up, we're gonna go and search it up, I cannot find him for whatever reason. It's like he's been removed for the game, for me at least. And I know my squads are updated because months ago I had started, let me just quickly type in, so Lucas, but I have used them in a previous. Look, Theo Bergvall, I think that's his brother. I don't know if it's from the same club, Swedish, but I've used him in a personal career mode of mine. For some reason, I can't find him, and he's not in our squad, obviously. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use him, but this is what the squad's looking like, and we're going to go right into this season and see how we do. As you can see, I have a player coming in. I know I said I wasn't making any signings, but for squad depth, and also I did not realize Dragoson's release clause was met, so I decided to bring a European young center back, and at the end of the season I'll show you who you guys it is. You can see the name there, but we'll show you the stats at the end of the season. Before I show you how we did the first season, I just want to show you the development of the squad. I'm gonna let you look at it. I'm gonna scroll through the bench as well, but as I do that, I also want to let you guys know that I did pre-order FC25, so when that comes out, I will be Twitch. The link will be in the description. I'm probably gonna change my Twitch name because it was from my old channel that I used to do for Fortnite, but I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be taking over Manchester United. I'm also going to make it a series on the channel, so if you aren't able to make the streams, I'm probably going to try to do once a week on certain days. I would definitely let it be known in the community section on my YouTube, as you guys are watching here. But I will be doing that, and I'm going to release more details as the time comes, because I'm also a student. That's why uploads unfortunately have been a little bit shaky. But then on top of that, you know, I'm just getting back into the groove of things. And now we're going to show you the standings after that little message. We did really decent. We did really well, honestly. 4th place. We were first for a majority of the season. I wish I could show you. Unfortunately, we fell short. Let's see, 8 points. The amount of draws that we had was ridiculous. And our goal difference was decent, 72 goals. The defense was a little shaky. But with no European football this season, if I go to the competitions, we weren't in any of the European competitions. So as you can see here, in round 3 of the FA Cup, we somehow lost to Wimbledon. And then to make matters worse, I actually backed out. To make matters worse, that was the FA Cup. So if I go to the Carabao Cup, the first time that we played, which I believe was round 3, we lost to Sheffield on penalties. That's because the rotational squad ended up playing the lower end of the games, and it caused us to not have a lot of games throughout the season. So squad depth wasn't really an issue. As you see, if we go to the squad hub and we look at the stats, Solanke did not the best. Okay, 10 goals, whatever. Kulusevski 7-4, decent. His rating has gone up a lot, but Son has carried 27 goals, 7 assists, and then Madison 7-4. So clearly there is some work to be done. Bentancur 4-7 even from the midfield. Suma, but 2-6. We have a lot of work to do. Squad depth is going to be the main issue. It may be improved. I'm going to go make those signings. Our first own transfer is going to be a major one. This is a man who has great mentality, who knows how to win trophies. Joshua Kimmich. I really want to strengthen the deep lying midfielders. And Kimmich, while he isn't on the game for stats the best defensively, he is just a great player. He's well-rounded. He's able to dribble past players, decent pace on him, and he's great at distribution. And he's extremely, how do I say this? He can play multiple positions. He can slot into that right back spot. He can play midfield. So he's very comfortable on the ball, clearly, and everywhere. So I like him coming into the club. So with Jetspez looking like he's not going to develop anymore, I decided to get a young right back. I believe he's Cameroonian, playing in the Belgian league. His first name, he goes by Jackson. I'm going to butcher his last pronunciation, or his last name pronunciation. But we're bringing him in as our second right back to Pedro Porro, because obviously Pedro Porro is not that old, so he still develop, still be good. So having someone a little bit young, not as much of the quality, but decent enough to develop, is what we need for him, for that position. So going into the season, our starting lineup is already looking really good. Son, he is starting to decline, so hopefully we have him for this one last season. And I have a bunch of money saved up. I think I have 150 million on our transfer budget. So if we see a decline, we can maybe change him into a rotational player, because with him dropping, he'll still go into the squads and maybe pick up a player to replace him on that left wing position, because it looks like our young players aren't going to reach that level as quick as Son's going to digress. But we did send Odebear on loan. Hopefully he develops, because we have Solomon. I think we sent out. No, he's here. So we'll give him the play time because he is more developed. But the goal is obviously to, now we have Champions League football, so we want to do better. We finished the second season and we've done better, not by much. As you can see, we are third place instead of fourth, even with less points. So that's kind of interesting. But as you can see, it's been really close, from 70 to 73 points from third to seventh. So this season was extremely competitive, you can say. So the fact that we did get there is really impressive. When it comes to any trophy competitions, when it comes to the FA Cup, United won. I believe we won in the round of 5. So that's what, 16 teams. So round of 16. Unfortunately, we Liverpool won the Sunderland, Bolton. So that's unfortunate. We go to the Carabao Cup. I believe, unfortunately, we had another early exit. Don't quote me on that. Okay, round 4. So quarterfinals is 8. So round of 16 again. Unfortunately, we lose to Leicester on pens. I believe Romero was the one. So mad at him. Might ship him off. And then if we go to the Champions League, the final has been played. Roma is in the finals, so I'm happy about that, because as you can see, not in the semis, we go out in the quarters to Roma as well. We lost 3-1, but we are doing really good. I think it's just a matter of getting a few more players to extreme team to the top. As you can see, a insanely well-rounded starting lineup with Udogie, Van de Ven, Bentancur at 85, along with Solanke. Madison, 89, becoming a world-class player. Kulusevski, he hasn't developed as we might change him. Depends. The reason why. Son, 87, 2 years we gave it to him. But I think it's time. We're going to move on from him. Try to get a bunch of money. Try to just splash out and maybe drop 1 or 2 players on this starting 11 to the bench to get big players to replace them. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next transfer window. Rodrigo is coming in to replace Son. We did a swap deal along with some, I believe, 70-something million for him. Been extremely disrespected, especially in the Ballon d'Or rankings. And I think he's been more of an impact for Real Madrid than most of the players throughout his time there. And the fact that he's playing on the right wing when he's a natural right footer and left winger, it shows how good he is, and he's been really, really well, and I feel kind of bad for him. And he's gone on Instagram and posted a bunch of things, basically saying, I'm still that guy, like I deserve to be top 30. So we are going to bring him in, put him in the left wing position, and hopefully he can help us with our offensive problems. For some strange reason, it seems like Bayern have a great relationship with Tottenham after letting Eric Dyer go there along with Kane. So we're going to take one of their players. We're going to be taking Limer. He is an underrated center defensive mid in my position. He's done really well in Bayern, and he was also doing really well in Leipzig. And just to enforce the defensive midfield or defensive area in our midfield, we're going to be bringing him in. I don't know why they're giving him the number 7, but this is one of our next signings. In the back, our backup left center back is Davies, who is old and not the best. So someone young and that's really decent, what we were bringing in is Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen, the Ecuadorian. I believe he did really good in decently in Copa America, but it's more of just a numbers game. We need bodies. We need someone that can also develop. So that's why we're bringing him in. This final player that I'm signing is coming off of a great season from Dortmund, and he went to Villa. We need a better backup compared to Reguilon. So I'm bringing in Ian Maatsen. I was watching a lot of Dortmund games, and I was a fan of him. And it's extremely unfortunate. I believe he made some good amount of mistakes in the Champions League final against Madrid. So that was unfortunate. However, we can't complain. We got to move on, and he does have a promising future, and he's very talented. So that's why we're bringing him in to be behind Udogie. So going into our final season of the episode, as you can see, we have Rodrigo starting on that left wing position, and then Romero is our new captain. The reason why I'm putting Limer ahead of Bentancur is just because of defensive ability and his play styles. He can pass out the back, and he's just a well-rounded player. So I want that along with Kimmich to be our box-to-box that can also anchor the play and spread it out as well. So hopefully that change in the midfield affects how much we concede. And then this is our bench. We have Gray. We're going to be giving him more minutes. Johnson, I think I'm going to play him over the Solomon more. Basuma and Sarr have been dropped. However, they will be getting decent game time, so don't worry about that. And then Maatsen will be our fullback. So pretty much same starting lineup. Rodrigo, the major change, and then our bench is just has way more depth, which is what you need at the top level. So I will see you guys at the end of the season. Hopefully we bring back some trophies. So unfortunately, the audio corrupted when I had made the new signings along with showing you guys our standings. So I will just put it up on the screen right now. We got second in the league. It wasn't close, but it showed great potential, especially since we were 11th in the beginning of the season. And we also made it to the semifinals of the Champions League, and we lost to Man City, I believe 4-3 on aggregate. It was extremely close, but it showed that we did have potential to make it that far and win. So I decided we'll do one more season since we're right there. Made some great reinforcement signings. Fratesi, the great ball playing midfielder, he's well-rounded. He will be the backup to Madison since we had only Archie Gray to do that, and he didn't develop as I liked. And we also got rid of Van de Ven to bring in a rival player, Gabriel. I think having with this team physical center backs with the pace and the attacking ability of the fullbacks, having them just to be solid and physical is what we need the most. And then along with Fortesi, we also brought in Medina, another Argentinian center back with a more physical play style. He is left-footed, but we will be playing him on the right to back up Romero. And then we also have Hincapie that will play on the left. And then to reinforce the midfield, I think having Thuram will be good because he's tall, he has decent defending and physicality, and he can just do it all. So players that can do it all in the midfield is going to be mainly our key focus, and he'll pair up probably with Basuma and Fratesi or Limer. We have a bunch of options that we can do, but those are the signings that I have made, and we're going into the final season. So I'll see you guys hopefully if we make it to the Champions League final. As I was simming through the season, I hadn't realized that Madison's release clause was met. I didn't even know he had a release clause. I got to pay attention to some more of this stuff. So we have to bring in a player to replace him, and João Felix is that man. He's developed, I think he's coming in as an 87 overall, so not quite the same compared to Madison. And I didn't want to get like a boring central attacking midfielder. So hopefully he can revive his career in our sim over here. He's coming from Roma, but he is going to be getting the number 10, as you can see, and we will be slotting him into that 10 role at cam. It seems like it might just not have been meant for Tottenham. As you can see, great development, insane squad. Would have been better if we didn't lose out on Madison. Bench developed a little bit, roll down, but going to the standings, once again we finished second to City, around the same point range with less losses. It was just the amount of draws that we had. That's what brought us down. If we look at the FA Cup, I'm interested to see how we do. Did not make it to the final. We lose to City in the semi. City is our kryptonite. It seems it's possible to beat them. And then if we also go to the Carabao Cup, we're gonna look. Villa won it. Semis we didn't make. We lose to West Brom in the quarterfinals on penalties. Interesting. West Brom out of all team. Then the Champions League, City and Milan in the final. We lose once again in the semifinals. Unfortunate. I hate to end it off there, but it's just how we're gonna have to end off FC24. Hopefully, meaning we can't have that much of a bad start in FC25. Once again, I will be doing a Manchester United career mode. As we end off the video, we're also gonna look at the stats of the players. I want to see who had the most goals. Solanke finally turning up 26 goals. João has only played 10 games. That is extremely confusing considering we got him in January. Don't know if Fortesi was taking his playtime in that cam position or someone else. We have Kulusevski 17-11. He stuck with us really good. Rodrigo 23 and 10. Sorry, I wish it was 40. Solomon decent. I want to see Fortesi. No, so I wonder who. Thuram barely even played, so I wonder who took the playtime. It looks like Bentancur, Basuma, Limer. This Kimmich played almost all. 7-8 from him. That's actually really good. But that's how we're going to have to end up the video. Sorry for not finishing it strong. Have a good rest of your day, and peace. See you in FC25.